In today's video, we are going to be discussing the England Premier League predictions and also in-depth match analysis for round 16. So sit back, relax and enjoy this video. If you want to make maximum profit out of this video, the best advice I'll give to you, do not skip any part of any analysis so you can be able to carve out your own prediction and make maximum profit out of it. So sit back, relax and enjoy the video. I'll do my best to make this analysis as brief and possible, and at the end of the day I'll drop my own personal predictions for each and every one of you. So let's talk about the England Premier League predictions and match analysis for round 16. So you can see on your screen, and before we go any further, smash the like button and subscribe. Very important. We have the first game, in which is Chelsea taking on Everton. And before we talk about this game, let's look at the form of these two teams in terms of their last 5 games in general, not only in the Premier League. The last 5 games, Chelsea has been declining. Ever since they beat Barcelona 3-0 and they drew to Arsenal with red card, it has been downward so far for Chelsea. They've been unstable, losing to Atlanta, playing a 0-0 draw against Bournemouth, losing to Leeds. On the other hand, another beautiful performance from Everton. They've played 5 games recently and they conceded only once in a game. What I mean, they conceded only once, in which they conceded in a game out of these 5 games, and they conceded 4 times. But out of these 5 times they played games here, they conceded in just 1 game, and they conceded just 4 goals. They had a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, winning 3-0. They had a clean sheet against Bournemouth, 0-1. They had a clean sheet against Manchester United, 0-1. Had a clean sheet against Everton, 2-0. Outstanding form. And Chelsea are just coming back from a game that they lost to Atlanta, in which Everton has the rest advantage, meaning Everton has rested enough. And in this game, it's going to be very tough. And if you look at the standing, Chelsea are 5th on the table, Everton are 7th, as you can see, 5th and 7th. Chelsea has played 15 games in general, scoring 25 and conceded 15. Everton has played 15 as well, scoring 18 and conceding 17. What it speaks here is that these two teams, they tend to score and concede. Let's start with Chelsea. Chelsea has scored 25 and conceded 15, meaning Chelsea knows how to score and at the same time knows how to concede a decent amount of goals being scored. Everton, on the other hand, has played 15 games, scoring 8 and conceding 17, meaning Everton knows how to score as well and concede almost the same way that they score. Now, this is the general game, in which is 15. Chelsea is at home, Everton is away. Let's look at those particular type of form. Looking at Chelsea's home form, as you can see on your screen, Chelsea are 14th on the table in terms of home form, meaning they are not doing well at home. They've played 7 games at home, scoring 10 goals and conceding 7, generating only 11 points. Meaning Chelsea can score at home and at the same time expect them to concede at least 1 or 2 goals, most especially 1 goal at home. Looking at Everton on the away end, they are 8th on the table, meaning they have kind of decent form at away. Playing 7 games away, scoring 7 and conceding 8. Generating only 10 points, meaning Everton concede more away than they score, but at least they're on the same ratio, almost the same ratio, because they score 7 and concede 8. So what are we expecting in this game? Number 1, both teams to score. Very likely and very possible. Number 2, a draw is very likely, because these two teams tend to score and concede at the same time. So if I'm to give my own analysis of this game, based on Everton having the rest advantage, Chelsea having a very good squad, give me a full-time draw, 1-1 draw for Chelsea and Everton. That is my own pick, 1-1 draw for Chelsea and Everton. So that sums it up. I believe Everton has a very good chance of scoring Chelsea. Likewise, Chelsea has a very good chance of scoring Everton, because it speaks for itself. They score a good amount and concede almost the same amount being scored. So that sums up the first game. Heading to the second game, which is Liverpool taking on Brighton. Liverpool are also coming back from a very huge win in the Champions League, beating Inter Milan and also keeping a clean sheet. While Brighton, on the other hand, have the rest advantage. And Liverpool has been very poor this season in the Premier League. And if you look at let's start with their form first, because I've started with Chelsea's form first. Looking at the form, the last 5 games that Liverpool played, they won Inter Milan 0-1, played a 3-3 draw to Leeds, 1-1 draw to Sunderland, 0-2 to West Ham, and also they lost to PSV 1-4. Very, very unstable performance, you understand? So, if you look at the Brighton side, 1-1 draw to West Ham, 4-3 loss to Aston Villa. They won Nottingham Forest 0-2, beat Brentford 2-1, and a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. So, their form is kind of almost similar, you understand? 2 draws, 2 wins, 1 loss. The same type of form. So, but in the Premier League, Liverpool has struggled a little more because if you look at the table, Brighton are ahead of Liverpool. Brighton are 8th on the table, Liverpool are 10th. Now, we look at the crucial point here. Brighton has played 15 games, scoring 25 and conceding 21 goals and generating 23 points in terms of playing 15 games. Liverpool, on the other hand, has played 15 games, scoring 24 and conceding 24. If you want to point out anything here, you will know that these two teams scores and at the same time concede a very, very huge chunk of goals, especially Liverpool. So let's look at Liverpool's home form in this game. Liverpool's home form, as you can see, go down 12th on the table in terms of home form, playing 7 games, scoring 11, conceding 9, generating 13 points. Speaks here that Liverpool scores at home and concede as well. Secondly, heading to the away form of Brighton, Brighton are 10th on the table, playing 7 games, scoring 9 goals and conceding 10, generating just 8 points. What it speaks here is, expect these both teams to score themselves. We've seen it in the recent games. Liverpool has been conceding like, I don't know which word I will use for something that concedes. Liverpool has been conceding, and it speaks for itself here in terms of this form. And Brighton, on the other hand, playing 7 games, scoring 9 and conceding 10. They concede more than they score. What do you expect? Both teams to score, very, very likely. A draw, very, very likely. So if I'm to pick any correct score here, or possible correct score, not correct score, possible predicted correct score, a 2-2 draw. Both teams to score over 2.5. Very possible in this game between Liverpool and Brighton Hove and Albion. So it's up to you to choose whatever you like. So I've shown you the reason why these two teams will score themselves and expect a lot of goals to flow in. But if I'm to point a winner, I can't do that because I don't know who is going to win. So that sums up the Liverpool's game. Heading to the next game, which is Burnley taking on Fulham. Looking at the form, first of all, because we started with form, Burnley are nothing to write home about, losing their last 5 games. And fair enough, they failed to score in only 2 games, against Chelsea and against Crystal Palace, in which they were at home. But the remaining games, they lost, but they scored. Looking at Fulham, on the other hand, their form is not that good as well, but a much better form than Burnley's form. Losing 3, winning 2. Now we head to the standings, in which is the most crucial part. Fulham are 15th, Burnley is 19th. Fulham has scored 20 goals and conceded 24 in 15 games, generating only 17 points in general. While Burnley has played 15 games, scoring just 16 and conceding double amount of the goals being scored. 30 goals, generating only 10 points. This is a very big factor and huge boost for Fulham. Now let's look at the home form of Burnley. Burnley are 17th in terms of home form, playing 7 games at home, scoring 5 and conceding 7, generating only 7 points. It means at home, at least for every game they played in these 7 games at home, Burnley has conceded 1 goal. 1 goal. So expect Burnley to concede at home. Expect it. Going to the away form of Fulham, Fulham has played 7 games, scoring 6 away, conceding 14. Fulham are not good either because at away, they score less but concede more. You understand? But in the ratio of Burnley and Fulham, Fulham has a more better chance to score Burnley because Burnley scores less as well as at home and scores and concedes more. Fulham, on the other hand, scores less in a way and still concede more. So if these two teams has a very good chance against themselves, they can score each other because the two teams concede a lot of goals. And funny enough, Fulham has conceded more away than Burnley at home. So even though Fulham will win Burnley, a scoreline of 2-1 to Fulham is what I'll stand with based on this analysis. So my predicted scoreline is Fulham 2, Burnley 1. There's a very good chance Burnley scores Fulham because Fulham is conceding for the 7 games they've played, they've conceded 14 goals. So for every one game, they can concede at away 1 to 2 goals. So Burnley 1, Fulham 2 is my predicted scoreline. Both teams to score over 1.5 goals is very possible. So the ball is in your court. So that sums up the Burnley and Fulham's game. I'm trying to be very fast as possible. Now, Arsenal versus Wolves. I'm not talking too much on this game. Looking at the table, I'll start with the table for Arsenal's game because... Okay, let's start with the form for Arsenal game because we've started with the form. Arsenal in their last 5 games, with one club brew 0-3, they lost to Aston Villa, a very crucial game. Arsenal, they won Brentford, they drew Chelsea, they won Bayern Munich. Wolves, on the other hand, are relegated. I've said it since like 4 weeks ago. Wolves are relegated. I've said it since. Wolves are relegated. Now, Wolves has lost their last 5 games, scoring in their last game. After 8 games, they scored their first goal. Meaning Wolves are not good in scoring at all. Looking at the table of Arsenal are first. This is like first against last. Arsenal has played 15 games, scoring 28 goals and conceding 9, generating 33 points. Wolves, nothing. 15 games played, 8 goals being scored, 33 goals being conceded, more than 10 times of their goals. Like they concede every single game, generating only 2 points. Wolves are already relegated to me. Now, Arsenal's home form. They are second in home form, meaning Man City are better than them at home. Arsenal has played 7 games at home. Okay, let me just say based on games being played, that's why Man City is first. Arsenal has played 7 games, Arsenal has played 7 games, scoring 18 goals and conceding just 2 goals at home. Wolves, on the other hand, they've played 7 games away, scoring just 1, conceding 12. Now, I'll not say anything again here. Arsenal will win Wolves without Arsenal conceding because Wolves does not stand a chance. Scoring just 2 goals at away is nothing good. When I will tell you that a team will score when they play away, at least score 5. Wolves did not reach the criteria of scoring. So I don't think Wolves is going to score Arsenal a single goal because Arsenal needs this game. Look at the table. Arsenal needs this game. If you look at it, Arsenal are first with 33 points. Man City second with 31 points. Aston Villa third with 30 points. So, crazy. A must win for Arsenal. Arsenal to win and over 2.5 goals to be scored is very, very possible. My predicted scoreline is Arsenal to win 4-0. 4-0. 4 to Arsenal, 0 to Wolves. Worst case scenario, they might end 3-0, but I believe Arsenal is looking forward to gather those goals back that they had or conceded in their past games. Arsenal will be trying their best to minus these 9 goals. So, 4-0 to Arsenal. Worst case scenario, 3-0. But I'm leaning with 4-0. 4 to Arsenal, 0 to Wolves. Heading to the next game, we'll have Crystal Palace taking on Man City very, very fast. Looking at their form, Crystal Palace also plays in Europe, so these 2 teams are coming back from a European game, one from the Champions League, one from the Conference League, so no rest advantage for any of them. But it's going to be a tough game. Crystal Palace has won their last 3 games, losing their other 2, while Man City, on the other hand, has won their last 4 games, beating Real Madrid of recently and losing to Bayer Leverkusen. So it's going to be a tight game. And looking at the table, this is career mode. Because Crystal Palace being in 4th position is so crazy. Like, this is just as if you are playing FIFA career mode. Crystal Palace are 4th on the table. Man City is 2nd. Now, Man City has played 15 games, scoring 35 goals. Most goals being scored is Man City, conceding 16. Crystal Palace has played 15, scoring 20 and conceding 12. So these 2 teams knows how to score and concede as well. Both teams to score can happen. Now, if you look at Crystal Palace home form, they are 15th at home. They've played 7 games at home and they have scored 9 goals and conceded 7, generating just 10 points. Speaks a lot. Man City, on the other hand, are 7th in the away form, playing 7 games away, scoring 13 goals and conceding 10. So for every 1 game Man City plays away, they concede based on this analysis. So expect, I know Crystal Palace and Man City has this hatred for each other and they score themselves a lot. So I will lean with Man City in which are the better side here in terms of goals being scored, but I will not look away from the fact that Crystal Palace will score them. So 2 to Man City, 1 to Crystal Palace. Predictions to be attached to it, both teams to score over 2.5 goals, over 1.5 goals. So I believe based on this research, these two teams are very good in goal scoring and also they concede. But Man City scores the most, so expect Man City to score in this game 100%. Yeah, 100% is not a good word to use. 95%. So expect Man City to score in this game and expect Crystal Palace. The chances of Crystal Palace scoring in this game is around 70%, so expect it. So let's look at the head-to-head to just confirm something. Okay, the last time that Crystal Palace played Man City, Crystal Palace scored in Man City's in their home, 1-0. Then look at the remaining matches they played. 5-2, 2-2, 2-4, 2-2. I did not even check this thing. But like I said, based on the analysis, these two teams should be scoring themselves. And look at their head-to-head. 2-2, 4-2, 2-2. And look at when Crystal Palace plays at home. 2-2, 2-4. And they still scored Man City in their last ever recent meeting. 1-0. So expect Crystal Palace to score Man City and expect Man City to retaliate because it speaks for itself. Heading to the next game, we have Nottingham Forest and Tottenham. Tottenham, the most unpredictable team in this world. That is Tottenham Hotspur. Now look at their form. The last 5 games that Nottingham Forest has played, Nottingham Forest also plays in Europe tournament, in which is it Conference League or is it Europa? Either Europa, I'm sure it's Europa. Let me confirm it. Yeah, Europa League. Nottingham Forest plays in the Europa League. Tottenham Hotspur plays in the Champions League. So no rest advantage for these two teams. So expect crazy events. Nottingham Forest has won 3 out of their last 5 games, losing 2. Tottenham Hotspur has lost 2, winning 2, drawing 2. Tottenham Hotspur are the most unpredictable team in this Europe. Looking at the standings, let's go down a little bit. Tottenham are 11th. Nottingham Forest are 17th. Tottenham has played 15 games, scoring 25, conceding 18, generating 22 points. Nottingham Forest has played 15, scoring 14, conceding 25. Speaks a lot. Heading to the home form of Nottingham Forest, they are 18th on the table, playing 7 games, scoring 18 and conceding 13. What it speaks here that Nottingham Forest scores, at least they are above 5 goals being scored, and they concede more at home. I don't trust Tottenham Hotspur, but let's look at Tottenham's away form. Tottenham Hotspur are 3rd in away, meaning they have one of the best records in terms of away games. Tottenham has played 7 games away, scoring 15 goals and conceding 9, generating 14 points. What it speaks here that in as much as Nottingham Forest has scored 8 goals and conceded 13, and Tottenham has scored 15 goals away, Tottenham Hotspur will definitely score Nottingham Forest. Both teams to score is very likely. Tottenham has conceded 9 goals away. So there's a very good chance Nottingham Forest being at home will score Tottenham Hotspur. But my predicted scoreline here is a 1-1 draw. Because I can't predict Tottenham. I will not be surprised in Tottenham losing this game 2-1. That is Tottenham for you. They are unpredictable. But based on this analysis here, Tottenham has a very good away form. But I will not look down on the fact that Nottingham Forest are at home and are very stubborn at home. And they score very well at home and concede the same amount, almost the same amount, or more than the same amount at home. Tottenham Hotspur have one of the best away performance, scoring 15 goals and conceding 9. Both teams to score is also very likely. Over 1.5 goals is very, very likely. But if I'm to lean with anybody to score first, Tottenham Hotspur, I will not be surprised. But I'm not saying you should go with that. But my predicted scoreline is 1-1 to Nottingham Forest and Tottenham Hotspur. Other prediction being attached to it, both teams to score over 1.5 goals. Heading to the next game in which we are going to try to be very fast. We have few games to go. Sunderland versus Newcastle. I'll be very, very fast. Newcastle are coming back from a Champions League game in which Sunderland has the rest advantage. So looking at the form between these two teams, Sunderland has lost 2, draw 2, and win 1 against Bournemouth. While Newcastle, on the other hand, 2 draw, 2 win, 1 loss. Heading to the standing, Sunderland are 9th, Newcastle at 12th. The fact that now Sunderland has the rest advantage and they're at home, this game is going to be very, very difficult for Newcastle. because Newcastle traveled to Germany and played a 2-2 draw against Bayer Leverkusen. Now, Sunderland has played 15 games, 18 goals being scored, 17 goals conceded. Newcastle, 21 goals being scored, 19 goals being conceded, 22 points being generated in 15 games. Expect both teams to score in this game, because I love this kind of, you see this kind of goals being scored and goals being conceded. I love this type, because look at it. Sunderland has played 15 games, scoring 18 and conceding 17. Newcastle, 21 goals scored, 19 conceded. Both teams to score is very possible. Now look at the home form of Sunderland. They are 6th at home, meaning they have a very good home record. Playing 7 games, scoring 14 at home. So most definitely and most likely Sunderland will score, because they scored 14 at home and conceded 7. Newcastle away have a very bad away form, having just playing 7 games, scoring 7 and conceding 9. This is what I'm looking for. Now, if I'm to lean with anybody to score first or to score in this game, it's Sunderland, because Sunderland has a very good home record. Newcastle scored only 7 goals and conceded 9. So they've conceded more than they scored. You understand? And looking at the home form of Sunderland, they've scored just 14. That is just it. 14 goals, a very good amount of goals, a very high ratio, and they concede 7. So even though anybody will win this game, Sunderland might end up taking it. 2-1 to Sunderland. That is my pick. 2 to Sunderland, 1 to Newcastle. Because there's a very good chance Sunderland will definitely score and hold Newcastle. Because Sunderland has the rest advantage. Newcastle are coming back from a long journey, and they're coming to play a very good team that has a very good home form. So Sunderland to score is a very, very good option you can take. But my predicted score line is 2 to Sunderland, 1 to Newcastle. That sums it up. And before I go any further, like the video. We're aiming for 3,000 likes in today's video. Please show me love and support. It's not easy to be analyzing like this, so please show me your love and support by hitting the like button and subscribe if you've not subscribed. Heading to the next game, we have some games to go, just 2 games to go. West Ham versus Aston Villa. West Ham is taking the most informed team right now in the Premier League. The most informed team right now in the Premier League, in which is Aston Villa. Aston Villa are in a very good. They beat Arsenal. For them to beat Arsenal, they are the most informed team. Aston Villa are 3rd on the table. West Ham are 18th. But Aston Villa played a game recently, in which is the Europa League, while West Ham has the rest advantage. Now, Aston Villa has played 15 games, scoring 22 and conceding 15. West Ham has played 15 games, scoring 17 and conceding 29. It speaks for itself. Expect Aston Villa to dominate, because West Ham concedes a lot. They score a good amount because they scored 17, but they concede a lot. Now, let's look at the main factor to judge if West Ham will score or Aston Villa will score: their home and away form. Looking at West Ham's home form, West Ham are very poor at home. Playing 7 games at home, scoring just 8 goals and conceding 17. Now, the goals being conceded is very high than the goals being scored. Looking at Aston Villa, on the other hand, they've played 7 games. Now, this is crazy. Aston Villa has scored 9 goals and conceded 9. Meaning for every game that Aston Villa has played, they've conceded at away. Aston Villa have conceded at least once to 2 times. Scoring 9 and conceding 9. Meaning Aston Villa, there's a very good chance they concede against West Ham. And there's a very high chance Aston Villa scores West Ham. Now, Aston Villa are coming back from a Europa League game. West Ham has the rest advantage, giving West Ham the boost to score Aston Villa. But if I'm to still lean with anybody, 1 to West Ham, 2 to Aston Villa, because Aston Villa are very, very in form. So, but expect both teams to score over 1.5 goals. That is my pick. I know you might be thinking I'm saying both teams to score for all the teams. It might not happen, but there's a very good chance it happens, because it speaks for itself. So you may not take both teams to score for all the teams. Just look for the one of the 2 teams that you have more confidence in the both teams to score. So this game, both teams to score is very likely, and I'll not be surprised. That is it. We have the next game to be, and remember, Aston Villa are chasing Arsenal, so this game is very, very crucial for them. Second to the last game, Brentford versus Leeds. These two teams have rested enough. They did not play any Champions League game, Europa or Conference League, so they've rested. Looking at the table, Brentford are 14th, scoring 21 goals, conceding 24. Leeds are 16th, scoring 19 goals, conceding 29. These two teams scores and concede higher than they score, but Leeds has conceded the more of the goals. Looking at their home form, sorry, we did not check their head-to-head. Their last 5 games of Brentford has lost 3 and conceded and won 2, I mean to say. In their last 2 games against Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal, they did not score a single goal. That is very bad. So I believe in this game against Leeds, they will try their best to score. Leeds, on the other hand, has played a more tougher opponent, and they lost to Aston Villa, lost to Man City, won Chelsea, and drew Liverpool. Why I'm respecting Leeds is because they scored Man City 2 goals, scored Leeds 3 goals. There's a very good chance they also scored Brentford a goal. Now they are standing, like I said, look at their goal ratio. 21 goals being scored for Brentford and 24 conceded. 19 being scored for Leeds and 29 being conceded. Goals galore. Now, home form for Brentford. Brentford has a very good home form. They are 4th on the table in terms of home form. Playing 7 games, scoring 15 goals, conceding 8. 16 points being generated, meaning Brentford scores more than they concede at home. Leeds, on the other hand, has played their dead last, which is 19th. They've played 7 games in a way, scoring 6 and conceding 18. Based on this ratio, Brentford are going to beat Leeds. Based on this ratio, 3-1. I'll not be surprised. But Leeds will definitely score. Leeds will score Brentford because Brentford concedes as well. And for Leeds to score Man City 2 goals, Liverpool 3 goals, they can at least generate just 1 goal against Brentford. So I'm leaning with Brentford. 3-1. 3 to Brentford, 1 to Leeds United. Both teams to score is also possible. Both teams to score is also possible. Over 1.5, over 2.5 is very possible in this game. I will not be surprised. You might think I'm saying both teams to score for all the whole games, but you must not take both teams to score for all the whole games. And I'll not be surprised if both teams to score happen in all the whole games. Except Arsenal game, I said both teams to score. No. But the remaining games, there's a very good chance the both teams scores. It may not happen, but there's a very good chance goals come. The last game on the listing, which is for the round 16, Manchester United versus Bournemouth. Man United are coming off for a very good win against Wolves, in which everybody's supposed to beat Wolves. Looking at the Manchester United form, they beat Wolves 4-1, they drew West Ham 1-1, beat Crystal Palace 2-1, lost to Everton, and also played a 2-2 draw against Tottenham Hotspur. Bournemouth, on the other hand, have been disappointing. I'm very, very surprised that Bournemouth are in a very, very shaky form this season. Played a 0-0 draw to Chelsea, lost to Everton at home, lost to Sunderland, played a 2-2 draw to West Ham, lost to Bournemouth. Bournemouth form is very, very poor. And I don't think this Bournemouth can be able to pressure Manchester United. I know Bournemouth don't like Manchester United anytime they play. Now, looking at the table, Manchester United are 6th, playing 15 games, scoring 26, and obviously this is Manchester United's conceding 22 goals. Obviously, they know how to concede. On the other hand, they've played 13 games. On the other hand, I mean to say, Bournemouth are 13, playing 15 games, scoring 21 and conceding 24. These two teams are the same thing in terms of goals scored and goal conceded. Understand? But now, looking at the home forming with Manchester United, they are 11th, meaning they are not too good at home. Playing 7 games at home, scoring 12 goals and conceding 8. Fair enough. Looking at the away side, Bournemouth has played 7 games at away, scoring 11 and conceding 19. So there's a very good chance these two teams score themselves, because if you look at the head-to-head, look at it. Bournemouth played 4-1. They lost to Manchester United 4-1. They played 1-1. Bournemouth won them 3-0, 2-2, 3-0. It's just over 2.5. But I will lean with Manchester United as the better side here. 2-1 to Manchester United. But my pick in terms of predicting this game over 1.5, over 2.5, and both teams to score. So guys, that sums it up. And I believe, based on what I've just analyzed, I know I've taken your time, but you can use each and everything I just said here to carve out a very beautiful predictions. Now, my personal predictions for today. Let's go through it. And don't worry, there'll be codes for Sporty and 1x. So, these are the games I generated for all the Premier League predictions for round 16, like I did for the Champions League. This is it. We have 10 odds. Let me load it up. We have 10 odds that I carved out for the Premier League round 16. So let us load it up. It will pop up right now on your screen. There's codes. Don't worry, you get the code. The first game is Chelsea versus Everton. We have Chelsea to win or draw and under 4.5 goals to be scored. Liverpool versus Brighton, both teams to score. Please, you can change and adjust these predictions. Please, you can change and adjust them. You can change it to over 1.5 like I just said. Both teams to score for Liverpool and Brighton. Burnley and Fulham to score. Arsenal to score over 1.5 goals against Wolves. Crystal Palace and Man City to win or draw. Now you know the reasons why I'm selecting any option here. West Ham and Aston Villa over 1.5 goals. Forest and Tottenham Hotspur, either the home team or the away team to win. You understand? I know I said is it a 1-1 draw, but why I'm going for a home or away team to win, I said Tottenham Hotspur are unpredictable. And I said again, Nottingham Forest can be able to shockingly beat Tottenham 2-1 because Tottenham hardly play draw. That is just Tottenham for you. Either they win them or they win. So either the home team or the away team to win. Sunderland versus Newcastle, 2 goals ahead handicap to Sunderland. Brentford versus Leeds, Brentford to score over 0.5 goals. And lastly, Manchester United versus Bournemouth, Manchester United to score over 0.5 goals. So these are all the predictions for round 16. The booking codes are on your screen. So please stake wisely and gamble responsibly. So guys, that sums up all the games for round 16. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. If you have anything to say, I would like to see it in the comment section. And I'll see you next time for round 17. Have a wonderful day and bye for now.